what's wrong with you? Are you okay? He says, keep quiet. Why did you say I should keep quiet? Am I disturbing? Why did you say? You see, you see, my husband always start kuro. When I was having children, he was always not around. But this particular one, came after him. Came when he was around. Anytime he's around, I am relieved. His duty, my shift automatically. So, they are so, that child made him understand parenting. Because some things he was able to run away from with the first and second. This third one refused to be shoved to the back. So that's the children of nowadays, the 21st century children. They don't want to be shoved to the back. They will be in your face. And if you don't have emotional intelligence, you will mishandle them. Then the two of you will now clash. So, parenting 21st century children needs you to be emotionally balanced as a parent. Some of us come with so much trauma, childhood trauma. We bring it into our marriage. We take it into raising children. So, because something has happened to you in your marriage, in your childhood, you experienced one thing or the other in childhood. You took it into your marriage. Like, let me see. Somebody that, a lot of us, when growing up, we had parents that were so strict, but they didn't pay attention. They were just strict, but they didn't pay attention. So we were able to do some things and get away with it without them knowing. And so, you were attention deprived. So when you got married, you started showing that thing in your marriage. You'll be following your husband up and down. You'll be in his phone. You want to know everything. If he's busy, you will sit down beside him. Some of you, the way you do some things, you don't know it's trauma that is affecting you. And so when they say go and see therapists, you say, me, Yahweh. Therapist is not for mad people. I pray Africans understand. You need to heal before you can raise a child, or else you pass on the trauma unknowingly. Most of us, we pass on trauma unknowingly. I remember when I started raising my child, I would shout, I would shake with. One day I was taking him from school. This is what happened that made me start let the child be. And I was bringing him back from school. So I don't want him. I got him a bottle. So I warned him that this bottle must not break. It's very expensive. Must not break. So when I went to pick him, he was not telling me that, my bottle, something happened to my bottle. Me, gaton. What's it bear? Hey, I told you about this bottle. Hey, baby. As a sorrow, keep quiet. When I don't spat, and I said, okay, what really happened? He said, that is what I've been trying to tell you, but you did not listen. I did not listen. That thing just struck me because I grew up not being listened to. Everybody just have a say over your life, but they don't want to hear you that have the life of God. They don't want to hear about anything. And I looked at her and I said, okay, tell me what happened. And I said, I kept the bottles. I kept the bottle where bottles are kept. But one of the classmates went there and picked the bottle and something happened. It just broke. So it was practically not his fault. I'll go right here, right? See your life in the open? Yeah, there. Shout. On a good day, very careless human being. But when he said that thing sank. That thing sank and made me realize that most of us, we don't listen. If you are parenting the 21st century child, you must learn to listen. Listen. Listening is not only words, action, behavior. What's that child saying? Some of us cannot even predict what our children is saying with their behavior. Your child is running from somebody. Go and greet grandma. You do not sit down to wonder, why is this child running from this person? And don't touch her. And don't you witchcraft. Go back. And at the end of the day, the child will not trust you anymore. Because you are supposed to be the safe haven. But the safe haven is now pushing the child into the hands of the wicked. I pray the Lord will help us in Jesus' name. Another thing that is very important in this 21st century, raising 21st century children, parenting them. Shift your cultural values, change it. It's not every child you will beat, although you will beat. But it's not every time you beat or it's every child you beat. I have a child, you don't need to beat. Just talk. And that child, everything might change. The system might change. But if I know, injustice come because or last one is normal friend. But some of us, we don't know when to apply the rod. We just apply anyhow. And so the children become resistant to the rod. Say again, one were resistant. But yeah, in secondary school, you buy a fẹ́ náà right, má ti dúró right. Mo ń jẹ́ lọ ní because go to bá ṣe tán wọlá pààrọ̀. Èyàn kọ̀ rè mí díẹ̀ ní. And that is what will happen. Your child will have selective listening. They will decide what to. You will be talking to a child and they will just be looking at you like this. And it's going like this. And it's coming out. And in their mind, they're to bati shetan. In their mind, they are just like, where you will not listen to them. So they will be saying so many things in their mind that they are supposed to say to you. And so as parents of 21st century children, I did the Gen Z. Show any Gen Z. 21st century, I'm playing Gen Z. I want Gen Z. They will dare you to your face. I have one. They will dare you to your face. And they expect that nothing will come out. So that shows that most of us, we don't do consequences for everything you do. We let them scale through. You know that children understand empty threats. You say, I will beat you, and you don't do it. First time. I will beat you, you don't do it. Second time. I will beat you the third time, you just look at you like, you don't beat me, because you have not been doing it. Am I saying you should beat? No. I'm not an advocate of back too much. But when it needs, please do it. But I'm an advocate of when you say you will do something, follow it up. So that they will not take you for granted. You see, at that point, when you lose them there, you have lost them. Because there's no how you want to threaten them again. You will see the way they will react. What's that? Why did you hit me? They will wonder because you've not been doing it. But when they know that there's consequences for everything I do that is wrong, your child will behave well. So parents of nowadays, I see us doing more friendship than parenting. We do a lot of friendship than parenting. Let's balance it. We must do a lot of parenting first. All my children, when they were growing, when there's a formative age, if you miss it, you will struggle. All their formative age, I was parenting. Creating the fear of God in them. And when they got to a stage, I always said that I think when they get to 10, I don't beat anymore. I will just be talking. But once in a while, when you misbehave, wake up. You know? And these things are very important. Don't miss the formative stage of a child where you are supposed to form morals, where you are supposed to form every value you as a parent value, where you are supposed to impute it into your child. Don't miss that stage because once you miss it, that child is gone. I remember when we were always coming for VG, Emmanuel will always sleep. So they got Nintendo for him. So what I would do when we are coming for VG, I'll give him Nintendo to keep him awake till Sharia. I did that consequently for a while. Then after a while, he would just sit down and he will not sleep throughout VG. You see people bringing 11-year-olds to VG and they are sleeping. Why? 10 sleeping. Why? 8 sleeping. Why? If you want to sleep, stay at home. 8-year-olds sleeping. 10 sleeping. Man, 10 sleeping. You know, where man play 6 gokosu. Láti fún ní tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀ máa ti ṣe máa kàn máa wò ẹ̀ máa ti fẹ́ di gbàríyà ẹ̀ máa kàn ra gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ni. Àwọ̀nù àríyá láti inú àríyá ó ti gbọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀ lẹ́mìí òun náà ń gbọ́n bọ̀ nìyẹn. After that, he started praying. After that, he started growing. But most of us, we pamper these children too much. We do so many things for them. So they don't even know how to think outside us. And it's wrong. That's one thing I want to talk about. 21st century children, we've pampered them too much. Your children cannot go from here to there. You stand at the window and say, hey, look at the road though. Hey, soda. Hey, hey, bro, today soda. What's that? I've been crossing road from the age of 10 in Lagos. I'm assuming you walk from Tejo Show Market. I walk to Abamakoli, going to school, go and fo. I want just that to be gracious. Oh my God, I want to talk about gracious, not too late. Find your way. 10. But now you can't walk around and see near that way. And me, I was in a panel some weeks back, and we were talking about it. And a woman was saying, how will I put a child inside keke to go to school? I will not have peace of mind. Wow, why? Yeah, well, money, madam, it's not that the first you just put the child inside keke and say be going. You will go with the child for a while. Introduce the child to the environment. Explain landmarks to the child. And when you see this, in case you are missing your way, when you see this place, you will know that at least you are on your path. Then, small, you will be moving back and allow the child to take the keke. But nowadays, we do everything for them. So they cannot reason on their own. They can't. If I ask many of you what experiences you had, most of you, but then long university, by you get to like that, you say, most for long, yeah. Yes, we did. In my days, when my mother dropped me, there was no phone, there was no cellular. I got me there, and for us. So our parents gonna panic because there was no mode of communication. But they just left us because they trusted God. But we claim to know God. We don't trust God with our children. We just hold on to them. 21st parenting. Allow your children to make mistakes. It will stop them from being children. Inside their mistakes, they will learn. Some of us will cover them up so much that the mistakes they are meant to make and learn from, they won't make it. Then when they are not around us, they go and make huge mistakes. How did this happen? You didn't tell me. You were meant to make some little mistakes that you were supposed to say, oh, next time you don't do this, you do this. Next time you don't do this, you do this. 21st parents, you don't teach your children how to survive. Basic surviving skills. I was seeing a child. My 25 liters. Today nowadays, I go bucket for mommy. My hand is paining me. Carry this thing. Carry this thing and go upstairs. She will explain. She knows how I deal with them. Carry the thing and go upstairs. But 21st parenting, we are the ones that are pampering them. We cover them. We don't want them to do anything. Basic life skills, they don't know. And so boys will marry girls because they can cook and fall for them. Because they don't know how to cook. Girls who will marry boys because he say, I love you every time. Okay, this guy must really love me. You go know how to say, I love you, God, my Jane was. Because you are not exposing them to the right thing. We're talking about something on that panel that really stuck with me. We're talking about incidents that if terrible incident happens, or maybe your children are one way or the other find themselves in the hands of police, how would they cope? Well, okay, this is Nigeria back home. And okay, yes, it's me that did it. How well have you prepared your children for such? Or how well have you started talking to children about safety? They are not too young. I remember one time, Manuel locked the door. Turn the knob. Mama panic. But when I was saying turn the knob, one trial had to shoot. I can't open it about me. But he was not panicking. That was one thing I took home from that thing. It was me at the other hand that was panicking. He was not panicking. And I took that thing stuck with me because it shows that even in storm, he will not calm down. Even till now, what is it? You're a spiritual person. But because I have taught him that instead of panicking in situation, look for a way out. I don't know how I taught him. Don't come and meet me after the service. I just know that in a way. Then don't come. Some things I don't know how I did it. It just happened. Oh, what's one with the shit? So don't come and meet me. I don't know. Another thing I want to talk about is setting boundaries. Let our children know boundaries. Almost seeing one more boundary. It's true. My mommy said that thing too. My mommy, you said that thing too. Okay. Mommy, not okay. Yes. Oh, yeah. I want to do the witness. You know, right? Well done. In my days, you don't do that. Real life ọ̀fẹ́ agbára méjì bá ti jókòó pọ̀ láti ṣe bá ti wẹ̀ báyìí ó sì jókòó ìwọ gan ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sọ ọ̀ ní ìdá ti sọ fún ẹ they don't need to say it you just disappear wàá pòórá but nowadays children nowadays they just do their mouth they open their mouth sef my mommy that thing you were saying that time okay which thing are you saying with who was discussing with you I think most of us that we have finished somebody in our house we have discussed about somebody in our house our children are there. They've had everything. And the child will say, in Sunday school, they'll not tell that. Your mom is not a good person. My mom say your mom is not a good person. Can you call damage? If I can English here, damage control. Damage control. It's not you I was talking about. It's not these children, they will just say anything. It's a lie. The children did not say anything. It's what you said. Some of you have built seed into your children already. That person is a foolish person. That person is okay. This person is a foolish person. I will not greet the person. My mom say you are a foolish. My mom say you are a foolish person. I will not greet you because we are doing the opposite of what we say we are. Role modeling, very important. Role model what you want to see in your child. But I'm going to don't tell you. But I tell you, I was streets. In short, nothing but last school. Good afternoon. What am I keen on? You will greet by yourself. And nobody will talk because their parents too are not seeing it. Parents who don't greet. Let's role model what we want to see. And I say, I want to see who is raising this someone saying. Who? There are some people when I see them, I say, you can't greet. It's because I still like your child. If I do a kilo come, everybody carry their bukata. It's everybody will come and stand before God and say, why didn't your child greet? Allah have you. I'm okay. I should request that I call about you really. Wow. He can ask you anything. You can be indicted for anything on your child. Another thing we should do as parents in this century is, you see, technology. It has taken the major part of our children's life. An easy way out. Your mom say, yeah, carry your iPad. Carry your iPad. You don't know that you are building distance unknowingly. Go and take your iPad. Any small thing, go and take your iPad. You want your own time. Go on. I know somebody that when they get home, 5-10 minutes, they are still in the car looking at TikTok, sliding. I'm like, hello. But now the child is seeing you sliding TikTok. We went to somewhere and I saw the wife was on phone. The husband was on phone. I'm not telling my husband. I say, it's a syndrome. Syndrome. Everybody on their phone. Everybody. Even the children too, they had their own session. They were doing whatever. And this thing is eating into family time. It's causing disintegration. You see, we don't have time together as family anymore. Children hardly talk to their parents because they have people online that they can communicate with. People that will listen to them online. Because I've experienced it when somebody is talking to me and I'm on phone, and I'll be like, and the person is talking, and I'm not really hearing that person because my concentration is on my phone. So imagine your child is dying and you're there. Mommy, I'm drowning. You're fine, don't worry, you're fine. Mommy, I'm dying. But all I ever must think, drowning, wo. Only too late. The use of phone or electric device should be reduced. In that panel I sat, we are talking about, should children have access to devices? Very early in life, I was smiling because should children have access to phone? Let's say, sure. Mo le ra 3310 phone so far to internet lórí ẹ̀ phone ni ṣe bí kò fi receive call ni. So I'm not disputing, you can have, but you see that phone with internet, no, you cannot have it. It's until you have 17 and I've put you through it. You know, most of us give our children phones, we don't teach them, we don't prepare them. I said it there. I said you just give your child phone back by the present. You don't sit them down before that time and say, see, as you'll be using this phone, it can be an instrument of destruction. And if you go on social media, there are people that will troll you. You don't prepare your children for somebody that will post picture and people say, see this one's head, see this one's stomach, see this one's leg. They will start attacking that child. You will just see your child pulling away. You will not know that when what's in troll or social media, you don't prepare your children. You don't educate them. And so I see some 14-year-old TikTok. What are you people looking for on this TikTok? What? These things are very important. Educate your child before you give them any phone, especially the one that will have internet. You don't go on this social media and do, what are you doing on? I don't know what a 14, 13-year-old is on TikTok, Instagram. Follower will need you. Follower. You know, these things to me, it doesn't make sense because it exposes them to a lot of things. There's no parental guidance on social media. Everything of recent motion, show any site that is terrible, they will now say, click on it. Viewers discretion. Before it will just come up. I remember one time when my husband was always going through his social media, I was like, you know, some things will affect me psychologically. So I don't go through it. Social media. You know, these things, when you consume it, it becomes something in you that in 2 minutes. Flash. And so these things to happen to these children when we expose them to what they are not supposed to be exposed to. I remember one time, my son was telling me about this social whatever, Discord, that there was this guy that was behaving like a 13-year-old, and he was chatting, and he's an elderly person, chatting with young children, because that Discord was meant to be for children. Not really children, but at least teenagers and stuff. And he was chatting, and he was telling them what to do. Well, snap yourself nude. Yana feel pay age group because he's not been trained. I was sending. And this person was taking in children's pornography. Taking and stuff. You know, there are some people like that. They are just perverts. They just take children. They in short, what turns them on is children's pornography, children's nude, not adult. They don't need adults. And they were, you know, by the time it was discovered, it was an elderly man. And when he was telling me, because a routine baby. Because somebody can just control your child on phone, telling your child to send their address. And because your child is so young, your child will send the address. Telling your child to send nudes. Why? Send the news like so before you give your children access to internet, please be very sure that you've educated them. So many perverts are out there. So many. A lot of things are happening that I don't pray it happens to us. But when you educate your children, it makes them better. Education is key. Some of us, we cannot sit down and talk to our children about sex. And now daddy, ma panic. Tabani, now talk to your children about sex. Ma panic. Ogun abo, ma kilo shele. Kilo shele. Ale nikole, ma wa active. Le sorong pa cause activity ilale. Go and talk to your children about sex. You know, that time I was telling my husband, go and talk to your son about sex. Me, I don't have this thing. I don't know how it is when the thing is hard. Go and talk to your son because me, I don't know. It's me, I'm a normal woman being. Sorry, I didn't say you men are not normal. Me, I don't have this thing. So I don't know how it feels. If I teach him, I teach him from the book, which is fake. Teach him original, as it will be standing and going and everything. How he will manage himself so that when get past, you will not be looking at the thing and do like this and say, but that kilo your life, like, teach your son, no. When you men will shift sex education to women, it up. There's no manner to parenting. Run to God. As much as we want to run to God, everything should not hang on God alone. Do your part. Because most of us will go to church from morning till night. We take these children to church. We don't know that when we church again, ọmọ yẹn gan kọ́ oríṣiríṣi. Nínú church gangan tẹ́ ẹ̀ mú wọn dání tẹ́ bíbélì ní pé láàrin àwọn ènìyàn mi. oríṣiríṣi ló kọ́ ìta máa fọwọ́ tẹ̀ wọ́n ní small small ẹ̀rọ àwọn pervert brothers have you ever met a perverted brother maybe in university that is so spiritual, he speaks in tongues but he does terrible things? You will say any idea. What that person would do. Oh my rush. I remember when we were growing up, there's this girl. She was in boarding house and she always tell us, hey, teacher, copper. But she too, she was this kind of person. I think she was exposed to. So along the way, boarding house, along the way, she saw the instrument. On one pass here. So ngba tó dé láti secondary school mo kàn rí Mojí pẹ̀lẹ́bẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ Mojí ti kún gan everywhere fún mo kà Mojí MJ tẹ́lẹ̀ báyìí mo senior gan àti tó yìnbọn pé kàn tó yà mo níyà I knew something was not normal about this baby. I just knew pé o ti went wild and seriously that thing destroyed her because she just went Mojí. Prophets must have story again. Oh, they marry. Nobody need come on, boys. You want to see it? How does she?